Hello and good afternoon. My name is Andrew and this is ENN. Up today, we have topics concerning student unemployment and what can be done to prevent it. The massive debate still going on about the cause of smoking, the causes to the body following peanut allergies. Beatles fans have reason to celebrate, as April this year marks the 50th anniversary of a popular Beatles album. We know the next FIFA World Cup is in 2018, but let's explore further World Cups. Finally, we will be exploring further into the art of the sport for free running and gymnastics. First today, though there are concerns about student unemployment and what is being done to prevent it, can there be any way around it and what can be done to help it? Edward Pearman reports.
I am Edward Pearman and this is Essex Network News. On today's news, the local government has risen concern over the number of unemployed youths in Britain. Although unemployment has fallen by 58,000 to 1.9 million in 3 months to the end of November, and the number of people claiming job seekers allowance in October also fell, I have come to Chelmsford to investigate how local escalating figures will affect this year's graduates at the local college.
How hard would you say it is for young people to find a job nowadays?
Quite hard, I guess, depending on how hard they work before.
I'd say it's pretty difficult, it's not really just as easy as handing in your CV. You actually have to go online, apply and stuff, so yeah, it's a lot more time consuming.
Well, it's quite difficult nowadays because you had the recession a few years ago and companies being shut down nowadays, like Blockbuster, for example, because of the financial issues, so it's definitely harder for young kids to get a job now.
If there's anything you can say that will give them advice, what would you say?
I don't know, just keep sort of looking on websites and stuff. You just have to keep applying and applying, Eventually you get there, but it's just time consuming, it just takes a long time.
Well, I'd say just aim for one thing and at least, that'll make it easier, but try and get the best education you can, as well as the best work experience possible.
Just keep trying. It's a tough world out there. A lot of people applying for just one job. So just keep trying, keep handing out your CVs, and people will see. Just do your best at interviews.
After asking students their views, I asked the head of the department, Marco, to see what the college policies are at helping young people find work.
How hard would you say it is for young people nowadays to find work?
I think it's incredibly difficult now. It's getting harder, and that's largely because I think employers are a lot more choosy in terms of who they want to be working with them. So they want people with qualifications, they want people with experience, they want people with all the softer employment experience like whether discipline, cooking, time, material, everywhere, etc. So they're generally looking for people that have got that whole range of backgrounds, and it's very difficult to succeed at it.
Adjusting to work, so are there any programs that have been put into place to help?
We do have some, but it's very, very specific. I mean, the main thing that's happening now is that we've got some courses that actually have work experience as part of the qualification. You have to take that work experience to achieve that qualification objective. So we do have some of those. We increasingly will be having more work experience next year. But the experience of the students varies from course to course. We've got some absolutely outstanding provision, but we've got to make it much more.
I would say giving them an apprenticeship is a good way to help them start out. Yeah. And I think the emphasis on apprenticeships that's been established now is a good thing. So the 16 to 18 apprenticeships and the 19 plus apprenticeships provide slightly different experiences for the learners. And I think it's a good transition from a college environment into the workplace. And we would always encourage students to it's the right thing to take an apprenticeship. If there's anyone watching right now who is struggling to get a job, is there any advice you might pour back to them?
I think the best thing, what I said earlier, they need to be thinking about how they can show those softer employment skills. There's a whole generation out there with qualifications, with all of the experience that they've had in school. But what employers want to know when they employ somebody, that they will attend on time, they will do the work, whether they're clear regularly, etc. And lots of young people, I would say, those softer skills are the things that they find hard to show the evidence. So do something that's an enabling to show that those softer skills are things that you've got.
I then visited the local job centre to see what is being done to help young people start out in work. How hard would you say it is for young people to find jobs?
Well, I think it's undoubtedly the case that it is hard to get jobs, but there's lots of supports put in over the last few years by the present government. For instance, apprenticeships have been developed. There's lots of training programs. There's programs particularly directed towards NEETs, which are people who are not in employment or training. And there is also the whole work of the Job Centre Plus.
Oh, okay, so that sort of answers my second question, which is, what steps are available? Like, do you do apprenticeships, or do you have like week programs where you help young people?
There's a lot of programs available, and some of them involve sort of tasters. So, for instance, we sent a group of students to the college recently who spent a week looking at options before they made their next step.
Okay, cool. Do you feel higher education will help young people get a job later on in life? Does that?
Yes, undoubtedly, going to higher education is an improvement, particularly I think for people looking for jobs which involve responsibility and training. So yes, it is important for people in that kind of situation.
Oh, good. So do you feel an apprenticeship is a good way to help young people start off? Obviously, you working at a job centre, would an apprenticeship be a good way for younger people who are nervous, who aren't quite ready to get a job, ease their way into that sort of department?
Yes, there is an evidence that apprenticeship actually works, and the bottom line is that 90% of people who do apprenticeships end up with a job offer at the end of it. So yes, it does work.
Alright, cool. And last thing is, if there is anyone listening right now who is struggling to get a job or nervous about starting off, what would you say to them to get them motivated and get them out there?
Right. I think the important thing is to do research. Some of that can be done on the internet, some of it can be just going around and talking to other people. But what you want to do is you want to make sure you have made an informed choice, you know what your goals and ambitions are, and you've developed a plan which enables you to get there.
It is clear from my investigation that there are many support groups and help that have been put in the way by the government and the college, but the only real way to put yourself forward is you. Edward Pearman, Essex Network News. Back to the studio.
Over the years, the number of people smoking has been a mixture of increasing and decreasing, but today we want to investigate further into what the actual causes of smoking are. Stefan Bolger reports.